Okay, guys, welcome. I am your professor. My name is Jeff Clock, which is spelled ridiculously, as you probably noticed on the website. It's spelled with a G. Jeff is with a G and Clock is with a K. So it's just Jeff Clock, but they're both words are spelled insanely because my parents are psychopaths. This is English 101, and I'm your professor, and I will be your professor all semester long, and I'm going to have a lot of these videos for you. So this first series of videos is just going to be me kind of introducing the basics of the class and sort of how it works and what it looks like. So thanks for joining me for a crazy online 101 COVID semester at BMCC. Okay, let's go. Um, Thing number one, what the hell is this class? This is a good question. So let's just talk about what the class is. Uh, English 101, also called Composition 1, is sort of the full name, and everybody calls it 101 or ENG 101 or English 101. But Composition 1 is basically, it's the introduction to how to write papers for college. I think it's more than that, actually. It's really about how to think clearly and how to make arguments and persuade people to develop your own point of view and to say this is what I believe, and then to say this is why I believe it, and to kind of to develop a point of view and then to read complicated things, respond to those things, and say, well, I read this thing, and you know what I think about it? Well, I think this, and here's why, and to kind of develop that. And that's really the course. That's it. That's the whole thing. Sometimes people make this very complicated, but that's really all it is. It's about reading and then developing your opinion in response to that reading, and then defending that opinion with reasons and examples and research and all that kind of stuff. And that's the whole course. Um, what this is some of your courses are sort of self-contained, and they're knowledge-based courses. So for example, if you're in a science course, and I haven't taken a science course in a long time, but if you were in a science course, they're going to ask you, I don't know, they're going to give you a bunch of stuff about, I don't know, lizards or something. I have no idea. But they're going to give you a bunch of information about lizards, and you're going to have to read the textbook about lizards, and then there's going to be a quiz on lizards, and then you're going to have to say, yeah, you have to prove that you remember all the thing about lizards, and then you're going to write your answers down, and then like a year after the course ends, you're not going to remember any of that shit about lizards. That's a different kind of course than this. That kind of course is about putting information into your brain, and the way you pass a course like that is put the information in your brain. They're going to put the information in your brain in like September, and then in December, you are going to show that you remember that information. This course is not that course. This course is not a knowledge-based course. This is a skills-based course. So the best way to think about a class like this is to think of it like a game, like chess or basketball. There are rules. There are only a handful of them, and they're pretty simple. Like, you can show somebody how basketball works or how chess works pretty easily, right? The little pawns move like this, and right, you get the ball in the basket, you get 2 points. You do it from farther away, you get 3 points, whatever. But they're simple. They're simple things. It's not complicated to learn everything you need to know about basketball or chess. But to get good at them, you got to practice. You got to practice every day. You got to practice all the time. And that's the tricky part for basketball and chess. And that's the tricky part for this class. The class is actually quite straightforward. It's very simple. Read something, understand what you read, explain what you read, give your opinion on what you read, back up your opinion with reasons and examples, maybe consider another point of view, maybe do a little research to say why you believe in your opinion. And that's it. That's the whole course. It's simple. And all you have to do is practice those. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know, like this week. And you're going to spend the rest of the semester just practicing with that stuff until you get real good at it. And if you know professional athletes or serious chess players or really anybody who's ever played a video game before, you know that what happens is that when you practice something, after a while, at the beginning of practicing, you're like, okay, what do I do? How does this piece move? Right? What do I throw the ball to this guy? Do I hold on to the ball? What do I do? I'm using a lot of sports metaphors, and I don't know anything about sports, and I keep thinking I'm going to crash and burn, but I'm going to keep going. So the point is that you when you practice something, you get so good at it, you do it without even thinking about it. And if you've ever been really good at a video game or a sport or something, you move without thinking because you practiced it over and over and over and over and over again. So by the time you get to like the level boss, you're just like slash 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 blast, and then you win. This is like that. But right now, you're going to need to go slow and learn the moves and practice the moves until eventually you do the moves without thinking about them. This class has another very important aspect to what English 101 is. English 101 is not a class that you just pass and never think about again. And honestly, I hate to say this, but some of your classes are like that. Like, I took some science classes, and then I never needed that in math. I guess math is the better example. I took some math classes, and I swear to God, I never needed them again. Like, they taught me what logarithms were in high school. If you put a gun to my head right now, I couldn't tell you what a logarithm was. It never came up in my life once. And granted, I majored in poetry, so probably there's a reason why it didn't come up again, but it never came up again, and I never needed it. You're going to need... My high school teachers, I remember asking them, I was like, why do we have to memorize all these formulas? Can't we just use a calculator? And they were like, you're not going to have a calculator on you at all times, they said in 1993. And guess what? I have an iPhone on me even when I go to the bathroom, and I never have it far away, and there's a calculator on there, and I didn't need any of those goddamn formulas. So, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm attacking the math department. This class is not like that. You are going to need the things you know in this class for the rest of your college career, and I would say the rest of your life. You're going to need these things because this course isn't just like a course that you pass and never thinking about again. This is the course that teaches you how to do well in most of your other courses. You're going to have a lot of college courses from here on out that are going to ask you to write essays. This is the class where you learn how to write essays. So getting good at this class is going to help you in anthropology class, right? It's going to help you in theater class. It's going to help you in, there's English 201, which you could take with me maybe. But there's classes that you're going to have to take from here on out. The history department, the psychology department. They're going to have things for you where your teachers are going to want essays forever. This is the class where you learn to get real good at essays. But I think it's bigger than that, and I like to emphasize this. It's not just about essays. I think essays are a useful thing, but really essays are a type of thinking. Writing an essay is a type of thinking. You sit down, when you're putting the words in the page, and I don't know, I guess there are people who figure out everything they want to say before they say it, but when I sit down to write an essay, I don't know what the hell I'm going to say, and I just get started on something. I get a quote, I talk about the quote, and then I'm like, oh shit, you know what I think about this? And I write it down. Writing is a form of thinking. So this class is training you about how to do well in your future classes, but it's also teaching you how to think. It's teaching you how to read, and read carefully, and read. I know you're like, I know how to read. Read difficult shit. I'm going to give you difficult stuff. So you're going to read difficult things. That's an important skill you're going to need. But the real skill you're going to use over and over again is when you see something, you're going to have an opinion on it. Now, a lot of people, they're like, that movie was awesome, but they don't know how to put it into words. They don't know how to explain it. This class is about thinking clearly. It's about, you see something, you think about it, you have an opinion on it, you back that opinion up with reasons, with examples, maybe a little research, you read other things to find out what you think, and you form an opinion, and then somebody says, hey, I think you're wrong because boom, 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 boom. And you go, well, you're wrong because boom, 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 boom. And then you're done. That's what this class teaches you how to do. It teaches you how to think. So it's not just a class that you pass and never think about again. And it will help you with future essays. But I think in a bigger way, it helps with life. Because it's your brain, and thinking is a big part of being alive. Some people say it's the thing we do that animals don't do. So you're going to need to get it all souped up and fancy. And obviously, you know how to think. I'm just going to teach you how to think more clearly, and then you're going to write that shit down. So I will see you in the next video right after this.